Yo, welcome back to Brandon Smooth TV. This is my She-Hulk episode 6 through 9, the season finale review. And I guess this is just the random wedding episode number 6. So, Lulu, which I guess is one of Jen's friends back in college or high school, invites her to the wedding. But she don't want her to go as She-Hulk, which is kind of silly. You know, she recently been in the news just for that reason. And it seems to me like you probably wouldn't even have invited her if she wasn't She-Hulk. But we'll get into that a little more. Now, Mr. Immortal is one of Jen's new clients, and he wants a divorce. Um, why he's talking about why he wants a divorce, Jen's friend, she's just so annoying. I understand why Mr. Immortal, even though he is immortal, jumped out of the window too. She's sitting there while he's trying to become a client, basically belittling man, saying, "You don't think my friend with a law degree doesn't know what immortal means?" No, he just confirmed that he was Mr. Immortal. This shows the Titania shows up. She is the worst MCU Kim Kardashian knockoff villain ever. She really don't have any originality, and I don't even know why she shows up. Her character was just stupid. Now Madison, with two N's, she was a way better portrayal of that type of character, in my opinion. Get rid of Titania and make Madeline a villain somehow. Mr. Immortal's divorce hearing with his ex-wives and husband. Oh my fucking god, they was just so stupid. Everybody arguing, and they called him an idiot. He is an idiot because he should have hired a male lawyer. And they said they're gonna make him pay. So his own lawyers that he got on the retainer is also against him and taking the sides of his ex-wives. Also calling him an idiot. Y'all 8, 9 fools got played by him. So who's the real idiot? This show just shows Jen is a fucking loser, and she's always been a fucking loser. That's why they got her cleaning up at the wedding and walking down the aisle with a motherfucking dog. That just shows you how much they cared about Jen. And I don't even think becoming She-Hulk, she's still the same. So she's trying to find out who she was. But the problem with this show, we already on episode 6 and we still don't know who Jen is. We just know the things she does. She like fucking, being a lawyer, bashing men. That's Jen so far. Why is Jen's friend wearing an inverted star? Is this perfect for Disney Plus and children to have satanic and Illuminati type imagery? Just had to throw that out there. The Titania fight with Jen at the wedding is so stupid and unnecessary. Titania's voice itself is whack as fuck, and you really don't feel any type of danger when she shows up. How are you a villain and I don't feel no danger at all? Like zero danger. This is probably the worst fight in all of the MCU shows and on the big screen because it don't look good. Last but not least, we end up finding out Josh, the dude she's trying to meet, is trying to get her blood. He's a spy. I called that in the last review because this show and the writing is goddamn really super predictable. Going into episode 7, she's dating Josh. They spend the entire show dissing men but can't stay away from him. And that's what I really find funny about this show. And then he hit like the second or third date. Yeah. Abomination is going to help Jen. Looks like Chad ghosted her, so she ends up going up to his little commune with all these other weird, soft dudes. Hip hop is just all through this She-Hulk show. They couldn't do it without it. The biggest genre of music ever created in the world right now was created by black Americans. Not foreigners, but I'm glad they use it. And then the men in the group, they soft as baby shit, wrapped in paper mache. Getting to episode 8, we meet this dude named Leapfrog. I guess he's some type of superhero. He's suing Luke Jacobson, the dude that made She-Hulk suit because his suit caught fire. So she goes to try to have a peaceful resolution before they have to take her to court. And Luke Jacobson, he really don't give a fuck. So they go in there into the courtroom, and then fucking Matt Murdock is his lawyer. And he just goes in there and wipes the floor with Jen real easily. Now, Leapfrog, we find out during the trial, he used jet fuel in his suit, even though Luke told him not to, and it was in the instructions. And he decides he's not making clothes for Jen anymore. Now, not holding it against her because hey, you can do what you want to, but Jen be horny as fuck. The entire show is about her getting laid, hating men at the same time. I don't know how you can do both. And I'm like, if you hate men that much, just don't be on the squad no more. Go join other teams. It's okay. So we got a scene where it's She-Hulk versus Daredevil. Why is Daredevil acting like this? Did anybody watch this show? Because I watched the first 2 seasons, some of the best superhero stuff I did. He's joking so fucking much in the show. Like, this nigga's like Spider-Man now. His quips is coming out like Spider-Man. And I'm like, why is he joking so much? He just comes in joke after joke after joke. Anyways, they end up quit fighting. They kind of join teams because they find out that Lee Jacobson got kidnapped. And he's looking into Jen's eyes. And Jen is just digmatized, y'all. She-Hulk smash. You know, She-Hulk don't even try to be a superhero when she fights either. She just treats it like an unnecessary burden. And if I'm gonna watch a show about superheroes where they treat being a superhero like it's an unnecessary burden, what is the point of watching the show? There's not really a point to watch it, because that's why I watch them. Yeah, we like seeing them outside of shit, but I digress. Now, they should have changed their name from this episode from She-Hulk to She-Bulk. That she always wants the D. The first or second night she meet Daredevil, just like all the other dudes, he hit very easily. It's not that hard to sleep with She-Hulk, apparently. And Disney got Daredevil with his shoes off, a grown-ass man with his shoes out and feet out, walking down the street, holding his motherfucking boots over his shoulder like they heels. Disney got Daredevil doing the walk of shame, y'all. I can't make this shit up. The end of episode 8, she goes to the female lawyer of the year. And the show writers be trying to make it seem they go over the board with the shit. So is the female lawyer of the year a real thing, like in real life? She said they do twice the work according to the show. Let me look that up real fast. I want to look at log legal hours. Hold on. Let's just see it for fun. I'm just kind of curious if you really clock it, because I don't know. The show, they got out of their way to do this, and of course she goes to the show. So we know that most lawyers work more than 40 hours a week. I mean, that's because in a law firm you have to do that. But practicing law, you know, if you want to really work your own hours, you know what I'm saying? They just said that they just work twice as hard. I guess so. We just have to take that for facts, because this show is all about facts. Episode 9. In this show, I'm done with the show, y'all. Episode 9. So they totally stole the whole 70s intro from the Hulk show. They did that on purpose. And now since she got locked up because she wilded out at the goddamn female thing when they exposed her and said she was a slut and showed video and really just made her look like a real bad person because she hulked out and actually got angry. Now she asking for Bruce. She want Bruce's help now. Even though he was trying to tell her in the first episode how to control this shit. And she said she can control her anger infinitely more better than Bruce. But now she need Bruce's help. She ended up getting fired as she should be for all that property damage and just acting a fool. They show her moving back home and she is a loser now. Because if she was a dude that moved back home and lost everything, that's what people would say. Jen really don't take any responsibility for anything she destroys. And just for being very sloppy, being a superhero, a public figure. You would think that she would know not to be as sloppy, but all this frivolous sex and bullshit ended up catching up with her. Now, her best friend, again, I'm done. Basically, the villains of this show, guess who it is, y'all? A group of nerd-ass men that hate She-Hulk. But I don't think this group really exists. They just made this up. It's like the He-Man Woman Haters Club. What the fuck? What is going on with these writers? They must have been watching like Little Rascals. I seen this shit and this was cringe as fuck. I'm like, the writers wrote this shit before the show came out. Like they knew the show was gonna suck and they was gonna blame it on nerds on the internet prior to even them watching the fucking show. And nerds are the true bad guys. This show is the worst MCU show officially after this episode. Then at the end in the finale, fucking Titania shows up. Then the Hulk shows up. And then Jen herself looks at the camera and say, this storyline is not good. I'm like, I've been saying that every motherfucking review since I started this shit. And you gonna look at the camera and say this shit suck and agree with me? So she ends up breaking the fourth wall and comes basically into our world. And she goes into the writer room and there's mostly women in there. And they said they all blame it on Kevin. And we know who over the MCU, Kevin Feige. So, did he really write this shit? Basically, it was all a man's fault. So she goes on this whole rant criticizing the entire MCU and all the movies. She knows better than the people who created the show. And she creates her own ending for the finale. Basically, absolving herself of any wrongdoing. Since Abomination transformed to get a little bit of money on the side, she wants him to be accountable. But she takes no accountability. Just like, yeah, we already know. Just like who. And then Daredevil shows up like a little bitch as soon as he wanted to show back up. Abomination got to go to jail for 10 fucking years for transforming. And she takes no accountability at all. Basically, they dropped all the charges against her. So she can destroy property, do all types of shit, scare the living Jesus out of people. No problem. And you see her in this picture right here going back to be a lawyer. After this, Bruce shows up with his son Scar, which we really don't even care about now because we know that could be written out anytime. And then, like I said, Jen gets cleared of all the charges. I'm glad Abomination escaped jail and left with Wong. And then this episode was just stupid. The show basically committed suicide in front of us, and this show wants us to hate it in advance. That's why they wrote these stupid ass scenes. I'm not watching season 2. Show is stupid. Peace.